We're going to get this going. It's great to see an audience tonight. We don't normally get one. Okay, it is time to call the regular meeting of the McKinleyville Community Services District for June 5th, 2024 to order. Joey, would you please call the roll?
Director Bender?
Here.
Director Beitman is absent. Director Couch is absent. Director Mayo? Here. Director Orsini?
Here.
Okay, thank you, Joey. Director Mayo, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I would be glad to. Please stand for the pledge and salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
We have no additions or changes to the agenda.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Approval of the agenda is approved. Okay, A5, closed session discussion. At any time during the regular session, the board may adjourn to closed session to consider existing or anticipated litigation, liability claims, real property negotiations, license and permit determinations, threats to security, public employee appointments, personnel matters, evaluations and discipline, labor negotiations, or to discuss with legal counsel matters within the attorney-client privilege. We have no closed sessions scheduled for this evening. B, public hearings. These are items of a quasi-judicial or legislative nature. Public comments relevant to these proceedings are invited. We have no public hearings scheduled today. C, public comment or written communications. Any person may address the board at this time upon any subject not identified on this agenda, but within the jurisdiction of the McKinleyville Community Services District. However, any matter that requires action will be referred to staff for a report of action at a subsequent committee or board meeting. As to matters on the agenda, an opportunity will be given to address the board when the matter is considered. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Letters should be used for complex issues. Do we have anyone wishing to address the board during the public comment session this evening? Is there anyone on Zoom who wishes to address the board for public comment? Do we have any written communication?
No.
Okay, no written communication, and no one wishes to provide public comment, so we'll move on to the consent calendar, D. Consent calendar items are expected to be routine and non-controversial, to be acted upon by the board of directors at one time without discussion. If any board member, staff member, or interested person requests that an item be removed from the consent calendar, it shall be removed so that it may be acted upon separately. Board, do you have any requests to remove any items from the consent calendar?
Yes, I would like to pull item D4 and D5, please.
D4 and D5 will be pulled. Are there any other ones? The board, public, staff? Okay, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar with D4 and D5 being taken up in separate action.
I move to approve D4 and what was that?
D5.
D5.
Okay, we have a motion.
Well, no, that's not right.
Motion should be for D1, 2, and 3.
And 6.
And 6, sorry.
Okay.
My apologies.
Okay.
Which items did you pull?
I pulled D4 and D5.
Okay, so I move to approve the consent calendar with the exception of D4 and D5.
I'll second that.
Okay. Joey?
President Bender?
Yes.
Director Mayo?
Yes.
And Director Orsini?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We will take up item D4. Let's find it.
It's on 29.
Thank you,
That's where it
President Bender.
is. Okay, and this will be presented by our Board Secretary, Jerry Blaine.
The next general election will be on November 5th, 2024. For each election, the County Office of Elections and Voter Registration sends a letter, Attachment 1, requesting district preferences for candidate statements and tiebreakers. This letter was received by the district office, and preferences were marked according to how the district has approved in the past, which includes the candidate paying for their own publication of their candidate statement and for a tiebreaker to be resolved by lot. The nominations period will open on July 15th, 2024, and will run through August 9th, 2024. There are 2 board director seats that will be open for election. Each seat is a 4-year term. The incumbents are Scott Bender and Greg Orsini. As a special district, all nomination paperwork is done through the County Office of Elections. For those who are interested in the process, they may contact the board secretary for information or go directly to the Office of Election to obtain the proper nomination paperwork. Elections in the McKinleyville Community Services District are held at large, which means that the only requirement is that each candidate must be a registered voter residing within the MCSD service area. Staff recommends that the board review the information presented.
Okay, thank you, Joey. Director Orsini, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. I pulled this item for a couple of reasons. Attachment 1, I had a issue with the fact that it was chosen that there'd be 400 words and that the boundary change should have had a circle no around it. Also, my concern is that there's no real background information in the staff note related to the consequences of the 200 words or the 400 words. So I wanted staff to be able to speak to that and brief the board on that and the public on that related to the choices, that the consequences of the choices of either 200 or 400 words might have.
Okay, thank you. You have any comment?
Yeah, I do. The 2 of you are running, and it's my position, which I think has been our position forever here. What is your preference? And that preference would make my decision supportive.
Okay, thank you. Staff?
So we did receive information on May 21st from Christina Straby at the County Office of Elections that this year they're changing the way they do candidate statements, and a 400-word limit, they're going to have to pay 200 or 400, they're going to have to pay to have those translated for the public. So the 400 words is going to be significantly higher than the 200 words. The base charge for running, which is equivalent to the cost of a 200-word candidate statement, is $814. Should we choose a 400-word statement, that cost rises to $1,628.
Clarification.
800 for
That 800 would be split between the 2 people if they decided to both put wording in. Is that
No.
correct?
I confirmed with the Office of Elections today, they received information from the Secretary of State that it is no longer a tiered cost between candidates.
So it's going to cost us $800, whether there's 5 candidates or 2 candidates, it's going to cost $800 a candidate?
Precisely.
That's ridiculous. Who came up with that BS?
The Secretary of State.
Well, I appreciate that. I will be sending a letter to that person tomorrow. That's ridiculous. I know the state's screaming for money everywhere, but to do this kind of onerous thing on small communities and not wealthy people who are representing their communities is BS. And I will be telling, it won't make a difference, I realize, but I will be sending that letter tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Can I make a couple more comments? Yeah, just to be on the record, that seems kind of ridiculous as somebody who likes to finance their own candidacy. That's quite a bit of out-of-the-pocket money, $800. the last time we ran, it was, the maximum was 600, but then as it was divided up between the candidates, it was reduced, you know, it was $600. And then if there were 3 candidates, it was $200 and so forth. So, yeah. I guess we don't have any choice, though.
If I may interject, Greg, everything that we do as a district, where we are charging the public, we can't make money. We have to do our assignments of fees, et cetera, so that it breaks even.
Yeah.
And this just is ridiculous. The state should not be trying to make money off of this election. So anyway, I know it's a moot point, but
It's not only a moot point, but it's also not germane to the subject of the discussion. It is what it is.
well, I mean, the discussion is, we have a right to discuss anything any way we want.
Okay.
At this venue, we have a right to discuss anything. This is the one time where we can talk about anything about stuff we want.
It's on the agenda.
It's on the agenda.
Okay.
So,
All right.
like I
Candidate-
say, it's a moot point.
Yeah,
On the
but
other hand,
he's also the chair, and if he says the discussion's over with, it's over with.
Okay. Are we going to do 200 words or 400 words?
What's your,
My preference is 200 words.
oh, really? You don't want to spend $1,000 out of your own pocket to?
My wife is mad at me as it is for shelling out 800.
tell her to clean 2 more houses and you'll be okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree. The 200 words, I think I think we should go with the 200 words.
Okay. Okay. How about you?
Whatever the two of you want, I'm,
You just gavelled them down, and now you're asking his opinion again?
yeah.
200 words it is. Okay. All right. Okay, and we got the boundary change circled this time?
Yeah.
No
Okay.
boundary change circled.
No boundary changes circled. Good. Okay. Mel. Yes, Director Mayo.
I would like to, and I don't want to put this on you, General Manager, but if you might be able to point me in the direction of where in our governmental things this decision was made, I'd like to raise my hackles with them,
Be happy to.
for whatever it's worth.
When you find out, copy me on that too. I'd like to.
Yeah, we'll send
I
an
definitely will.
email around to
This
all the
is-
board members.
And this isn't just with us here and you all. This is obviously throughout the whole state. And
Well, it borders on a constitutional issue. Of a
state.
poll
constitution.
tax,
State
only for somebody running.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, well, there's going to be a lot of people running right now. This is election time.
Okay.
Well, and it seems odd that they're gonna print 2,000 ballots for 4,000 ballots for McKinleyville, and it's gonna cost us $800 to put 200 words on the ballot, and in somewhere where they're gonna print 10,000,
It's going to cost the same.
it's gonna cost the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Just for the public's efficacy, every board member on this board and every staff member in this agency works our butts off to keep our costs at the minimum for our ratepayers. And this is objectionable in that respect.
Are you ready for a motion?
I am ready for a motion.
So I'll move that the form that's attached as D4 attachment 1, that it indicate the maximum length of the candidate statement be 200 words, that the tiebreaker be by lot, and that the boundary changes be, the no be circled.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Joey?
President Bender,
Yes.
Director Mayo,
Yes.
Director Orsini.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And D4 carries. Okay, item D5, and the floor is once again yours, Director Orsini.
Okay, well, could we have whoever presented it?
Oh, that's right. Okay. Item D5, distribution of the annual board self-evaluation. This item should be presented by Jerry Blaine, our board secretary.
Thank you, President Bender. At the March 2016 board meeting, a modification to the Board of Directors Policy Manual adding Part 11, Annual Board Self-Evaluation, was approved. The policy provides the directors with a tool to assess its own performance as a board to help identify strengths and areas in which it may improve function. At the November 2020 board meeting, modifications to the board self-evaluation worksheet were approved. Modifications to the worksheet included changes to the evaluation questions to ensure the desired expectations of this evaluation, which are to clarify roles, enhance harmony and understanding among board members, and to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the board meetings. Additionally, it was approved to move the evaluation to a digital platform, which will automatically compile the results. At tonight's meeting, the evaluation questions are provided in hard copy form, attachment 1. A digital link will be sent to each board member for completion. This evaluation must be completed on or before July 26, 2024. If any board director needs assistance completing the digital questionnaire, they can contact the board secretary. The compiled evaluation will be reviewed at the August 7, 2024 meeting. Staff recommends that the board review the information provided for the annual board self-evaluation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Floor is yours.
Floor's mine. The only issue I had with this was I will be gone. I will be out of the area on August 7th. So for the sake of the conversation, I don't have an issue if the board decides that they would like to have this item on August 7th. I completely appreciate that. I'll have no issue with getting my self-evaluation completed and turned in by July 26th. I'll probably need a reminder from Joey to get that done on time, but he's always really good about that. But I also understand if the board wants to get this done, and I just miss it because I'm making it. It's my choice to miss that meeting, and so. But I would request that we do it maybe in September. Reviewed in public during the September board meeting as opposed to the August meeting, if the board so is fine with that.
Okay, question for staff. Do you guys anticipate any large items within that time frame that would preclude the board self-evaluation from
No,
taking place?
in fact, the August agenda is actually going to be pretty loaded because we are not having a July board meeting since that falls on July 3rd. So the August agenda will be heavy, so it actually would be easier on staff if it moved to September.
Okay.
And I would support Director Orsini's request.
Okay. I'm ready for a motion.
Clarification. Do we need to make a motion to table this? I'm a little
I think you can
unclear
just
on what our.
Make a motion to conduct the review on the September meeting.
So that,
I think you can just provide direction to staff to bring it
Yeah,
back in
because
September.
the motion is to conduct the self-evaluation. I think that giving staff direction to just bring it back in September instead of August would be more than enough, and approve the agenda item as it's written.
Okay.
I move to approve the approve item D5 per staff recommendation, with the caveat that we will review we'll do the review in public of our performance evaluations during the September meeting as opposed to the August meeting.
Second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and a second. Joey?
President Bender,
Yes.
Director Mayo,
Yes.
and Director Orsini.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. That works.
I promise not to be difficult for the rest of the meeting.
You won't keep that promise.
I know.
Okay. We'll move along to,
Any staff comments on his difficulty?
It's in the minutes.
It's in the minutes.
it's in the minutes. Okay, we'll move along to continued new business. Item E1. We'll consider adoption of Resolution 2024-15, recognizing, honoring, and thanking Diane Sloan for her 29 years of service upon her retirement. This is presented by General Manager Pat Kaspari.
Thank you, President Binder. Attached for the Board of Directors review is Resolution 2024-15, recognizing, honoring, and thanking Diane Sloan for her 29-plus years of service. Diane's commitment to the district is unparalleled. She has kept the wheels on the district for all those years and is a key reason the district runs so well. Staff would like to read the resolution into the record to highlight some of her other accomplishments and recognize her outstanding services to McKinneyville Community Services District.
Okay, thank you.
Resolution 2024-15, a resolution recognizing, honoring, commending, and thanking Diane Sloan on the advent of her retirement for serving McKinleyville Community Services District for over 29 continuous years. Whereas Diane Sloan, having faithfully served over 29 continuous years as an employee of the McKinleyville Community Services District from February 27th, 1995 to July 2024, and whereas throughout her years of service, Diane has demonstrated unwavering loyalty, commitment, and dedication to the district, district staff, and the community of McKinleyville. And whereas Diane lends her talents, experience, and leadership to the district, having capably served our customers as a customer service representative and assistant business manager, and served her fellow employees as manager of payroll and human resources. And whereas Diane has always been an extremely popular member of the district staff, given her dedication and steadfastness in the accurate and timely processing of district payrolls, and assisting her fellow employees in enrolling them in the various benefit programs. And whereas Diane is not just excellent at her work, but is truly and deeply devoted to the well-being of her fellow employees, researching answers to complex questions and constantly working to better their experience with the district, including going beyond typical responsibility to recognize and celebrate staff birthdays, life events, and holiday parties, which truly shows her dedication to fostering a positive and supportive work environment. It's those extra touches that can make a big difference in employee morale and engagement. Her efforts help to create a sense of community and appreciation among the staff, which is invaluable in any workplace. And whereas Diane's loyalty to the district, consistently excellent advice to several general managers and department heads, unwavering commitment to the customers and her coworkers, and reliability in all matters truly makes her an irreplaceable asset to the district and to the community of McKinleyville. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the McKinleyville Community Services District does hereby confer upon Diane Sloan its highest commendation for her dedicated service she has performed for the district and the community of McKinleyville, and at the advent of her retirement further marks her historic accomplishment as McKinleyville Community Service District employee for 29 years, and wishes her nothing but good things in her retirement. So staff recommends that the Board of Directors review the attached information, take public comment, and consider adoption of Resolution 2024-15, honoring Diane Sloan for her 29 years of service to the McKinleyville Community Services District and the community of McKinleyville, and wish her many years of happy retirement.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Any comments from the board?
Good.
Hard to keep this PC. as well as we know each other. But it's pretty amazing how quickly the time flies. You know, day by day, excuse me, day by day and hour by hour, our work is very tedious. And we go home and we're tired and we're stressed, but the years just seem to blow by. I mean, my goodness gracious, girl. You've been a good friend and a great asset to this district and this community. And I'm not very happy with you right now. Damn it, you didn't ask me if you could leave. But I love you and I love your family, and always here for you anytime, my girl. God bless you.
My turn now?
Sure.
Hi, Diane. That's okay. As with a lot of McKinleyville Community Services District's employees, I've had the honor of working with them on many different levels, and as a coworker with Diane, and then as the general manager, we worked on many HR issues together, and we found ourselves kind of foisted into most of those because of things that were beyond our control. And I could always count on Diane when it came to getting advice from her, that she would be honest, and she would tell me the facts as she knew them, and what she believed, and not what she thought I wanted to hear, which was very refreshing to have that level of honesty when the chips on the table were very important. So I just want to thank you, Diane, for that part. Also, Diane was somebody that you could go to, and many people on staff did go to her and talk to her about personal things, and she always was present and asked about your family, knew all of our kids by their names, and was somebody that if something outside the district was eating me, I knew that I could talk to her, and again, not get something that she thought I wanted to hear, but something that was honest and from her heart, which made a big deal to me. Diane, I laughed when I saw the fourth whereas, where she's very popular because she always made sure that the paychecks were done on time. That kind of made me chuckle, but it was a realistic Diane. Come hell or high water, those checks were going to be ready to go, and she understood the ramifications of somebody not getting their check, and so her that made so much. It was like almost like she would have gone without a check, the way she felt about making sure that everybody got their check on time, and not only that their check was on time, but that it was right. And I think that that's something that just kind of illustrates Diane's dedication to the job that she did for McKinleyville Community Services District, and the fact that every single person there wasn't just a name, it was a person that she worked with, and it was very important to her that they were all treated with the utmost respect. So thank you very much, Diane. And I hope you and Dave have many, many, many years of fun being retired, and just to let you know, because Christy retired in January, and the first couple of months were pretty rough for us, trying to sort out how we were going to both be retired at the same time. So just a little heads up on that one. But anyway, good luck to you, and I'll see you around.
Your partner might not be quite as problematic as this guy.
There's probably that.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your service, Diane. My comments won't be so long. They'll be short and sweet, but I will say this with sincerity. The interactions that you and I have had are infrequent, but you've always handled whatever I had to say or do with professionalism, very cordial, and I always was satisfied with the answers that I got and the interactions that I've had. So thank you very much for your service, and enjoy your retirement. Staff, do you have any comments for her?
Well, I put most of mine in the resolution, so mine will be short too, but do want to thank you, Diane, for never holding back and telling me everything that you thought and holding my hand through getting me up to speed in this process. You are going to be very missed, and I hope you come back and visit frequently.
My turn?
Yeah.
Hi, Diane. You made it. So my first memory of Diane when I got hired at the district in 2012, other than her being on my interview panel, was me showing up to fill out my hiring paperwork, and I walked my son, who was about one and a half at the time, down the hall to the office, or into the office. She was up front then, and in her desk, before I even signed my paperwork, she had fruit snacks that she would give to the kids that would come by of employees to keep them entertained. And both my kids at this point, when they show up at the district, the first thing they want to do is go see Diane. And that's just kind of a testament to who she is and how much she cares about us as not just employees, but our families as well. And I've had the honor since I have moved to board secretary to share an office with her. And I'm really grateful for the last year and a half that I've been able to get to know her even better than I did. And I'm so happy, but bittersweet that she's leaving. So thank you, Diane, for all these years.
Okay, the chair wishes to recognize former finance director Colleen Trask on Zoom.
Thanks. Thank you. Wow, I can't believe it. But I have to say, Diane, you of all the people I know and all the people I've ever worked with, deserve the most fabulous, joyful, amazing retirement adventures ever. It was an absolute privilege and an honor to work with you for the decade I was there. And it wasn't just about your professionalism, your integrity, although that was absolutely to the highest possible standard. I mean, it's not everybody who really cares about how well they do their work. All too often nowadays, it's just, show up, do the minimum, and collect your check. And that is the absolute opposite of what you have brought to this district. But far more than that, more than professionalism, more than integrity, what made the difference at the district was your caring heart. I mean, you are genuinely invested in everyone's well-being, not just your own. And that's in a professional setting, in a business setting, that's incredibly rare. I don't know if you really realize how rare that is because it comes so naturally to you. But we had conversations as friends, not just as colleagues. And I value that incredibly highly. Thank you for all that you did for the district. You have absolutely left an indelible mark on how the district will move forward. And you have set an absolute bar for both integrity and kindness and caring that cannot be duplicated. There will be, I know that you've gotten, your successor is trained and they will bring their own stamp. Yeah, Leslie will bring her own stamp to that work and it will be great. But it will be hers, and that's different from yours. And again, my privilege and honor to have worked with you as long as I did and to just know you. You're an absolutely sterling human being. Thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
I can't see Diane's face, but I'm sure. Okay, I'm sorry, Diane. I'll keep it short. I will miss you. I'm so excited and happy for you, though. When you told me you were retiring, I wanted to do a little dance for you because I think you've worked so hard for so long, and it's just great to be able to retire and then do whatever you want without having to show up to work. You will be missed. You are great at what you do. The amount of details you keep in your head is, I know now is amazing and a lot, and I'm a little scared for when you're gone. So please don't change your number. I'll be using it. And yeah, you are everything everybody else said about how much you care. I think she might care more about my mom than I do, which is wild, but she asks about everybody's well-being and not just in a flippant way. And your attitude and everything you do for us will be greatly missed, and they are big shoes to fill, and I don't think I'm gonna have to build different shoes because I can't fill yours. Anyway, thank you for all of your service.
Diane, I'm really sad that I don't get to work with you longer than a month and a half, though. I really appreciated getting to know you. And two memories that I'm going to stick in my head are the first time I came to look at my office, you came in to let me know that you're retiring, and a couple times reassured me that it wasn't because of me that you were leaving. So thank you for that. And secondly, we kind of had a giggle over doing the insurance for my family because I have a family of 10, and getting them all added to our benefit package was a project for you. So sorry for that, but congratulations, and I hope you come around still to visit.
Well, I did prepare a dance for you, unlike Leslie, but I hurt myself while practicing it, so I won't be performing it tonight. And I won't make you cry anymore because you've been crying for quite a bit here. So good luck, Diane.
Okay, thanks. Members of the public wish to make any public comments on it? Or maybe Diane has something to say.
Yeah. 14 more days. Diane also has dog treats if you bring your dog to her desk, not just your children.
Dog treats, she not only gives the kids treats, she has dog treats.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Dave.
Dave?
Good to see a lot of faces, people I know and don't know. But I used to work at the district, and all the years I was there, Diane was there, And as everybody said, the consistency, the caring, the friendship, you know, it's going to be leave a void. So congratulations, enjoy it, and hopefully Dave and Ryan are getting to hear all this. So I see you. So hi Dave, hi Ryan, hi Colleen. Anyways, congratulations.
Is there anybody else who wishes to speak?
I promise it's under 200 words, or 400, or whatever. I guarantee. I'm honored to be here and would like to thank you all for the kind words of support. It means a lot to me and my family. I've had the pleasure of working for MCSD for over 29 years, and in that period of time, I've worked with 5 GMs, 7 finance directors, and I've seen many employees come and go. I've had 2 amazing kids, and I've processed more payrolls than I can count. When it comes to my career, though, I feel most blessed and thankful for the opportunities my position afforded me to help others and become a member of the MCSD family. While the work was rewarding, looking back, I'm going to smile about the personal connections being a loyal, straight shooter, being compassionate, sorry, and my ability to laugh, but not right now, whenever possible. I'm going to treasure many memorable moments I made along the way. So cheers to a fulfilling career and a great organization. Many thanks to those that made it possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll call for a motion to approve this resolution.
I'll enthusiastically move per staff recommendation.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
I heard you.
He seconded it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Joey, would you please call the roll?
President Bender,
Yes.
Director Mayo,
Yes.
Director Orsini.
Yes.
This motion is approved.
And if the public will bear with us for a few photos too, thanks.
I thought you were going to give it to your son. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So he heated it up and then I almost heated
Thank you all for your patience. We've lost our quorum now, but
I was
we
just
should be
going to
coming
say,
back.
we aren't official anymore.
those things like that will pop. You mix it with other stuff. Does that tone it down?
Yeah, it tones it down, it dilutes it. Mix it with a little bit of milk.
I was thinking about putting it with a can of canned chicken. So are we on break now or what?
No, we're waiting for our quorum to return. It looks like he is. We shall resume. Item E2, consider appointment of applicants to the McKinleyville Community Forest Committee. And this item will be presented by Parks and Rec Director Leslie Frisbee.
It is the duty of the Board of Directors to vet and select the most qualified candidates to become members of the McKinleyville Community Forest Advisory Committee. The Board of Directors is obligated to review all candidate applications, discuss the candidate's qualifications, and select the most qualified candidate to serve on the committee by majority vote. The McKinleyville Community Forest Committee is formed in order to provide the MCSD Board of Directors and staff with recommendations regarding the use, management, and operation of the McKinleyville Community Forests. The appointments recommended today are the initial appointments necessary to fully form the committee. The district received 30 applications from community members comprising a range of professional expertise and interest in volunteering to support the planning, development, and management of the McKinleyville Community Forest. Received applications can be reviewed in Attachment 1. The Ad Hoc Community Forest Committee, comprised of district staff including the General Manager, the Parks and Recreation Director, Operations Director, and 2 Recreation Coordinators, as well as 2 District Board Directors, reviewed and discussed all applications. Experience, expertise, availability, and personal interest presented by each applicant were considered and discussed by the Ad Hoc Committee. After much discussion and deliberation, the Ad Hoc Committee recommends the following for appointments to the McKinleyville Community Forest. With expertise as a registered professional forester, Joel Rink. Natural resource and forest management professional, Desiree Early Dorval. Natural Resource Agency professional, Tyler Brown. McKinleyville resident, Michelle Stevens. McKinleyville resident and forestry professional, Todd Truesdell. And McKinleyville resident, Kevin Creed. In addition to these applicants, which I forgot to put in the staff note, we did identify 3 alternates who would be allowed to vote if regular voting members were not present. But we identified forestry professional Mercedes Campbell, and Natural Resource Service Agency professional Christopher Collier, and biology natural resource experience Nicole West. Staff recommends the board consider the information provided, air questions, take public comment, and vote on the appointments to the McKinleyville Community Forest Committee.
Okay, thank you very much. Board comments?
Okay, so just so happens by coincidence that the two board members that are on that committee happen to be the 2 board members present today. So Dennis and I both participated in the process. Want to first of all thank staff very much for making the process kind of easier than it could have been, and in helping us decide on what we wanted to. And then I also want to thank the community, we had such a great bunch of applications, so thank you all very much who made applications for this. It was definitely made it a little bit more difficult because we had such quality applicants to decide on, but at least we had a large group of people to do that. So I just want to thank you all very much for taking the time to thoughtfully fill out the applications and provide resumes.
Okay, yes.
So I also wanted to acknowledge the breadth and depth of the applicants. I read every one of these applications several times. And, you know, I went to an Ivy League college, and I've done a lot of crap in my life. You know, I ran a dairy and a cow-calf operation and rodeoed for a living and all kinds of crap. And I read these intently, and I'm amazed. Oh my God, the technical ability that all of these applicants had. I mean, I was incredibly humbled. You guys are so much a smart critters, and your education and your experience and we couldn't have went wrong closing our eyes and picking any of you. But I slightly disagree with Greg a little bit. It wasn't an easy decision because all of the applicants were amazing. And so we made our choices for bringing it forward. And now it's the board's decision to make that decision. And I just want to thank everybody who applied. And this is going to be an amazing experience. You all are going to be involved in a worthwhile effort for this community, and it will make you all better. This is a pretty cool deal we're doing. And Leslie, our recreation director, has worked tirelessly on this. And I want to thank you, Leslie, and compliment you on this. We have all put, dare I say, our heart and souls into this, but yes, we have. And those of you out there, Green Diamond, and who worked with us for what, 12 years now or so to make this work. I'm very humbled to be a small part of this, and I want to thank all of you. And whoever we put on this committee is going to do an excellent job. And all of you who may not be on the committee, we want your participation. This is a community project, and we're simply the facilitators here of it. And so thank you. Thank you all very much.
Okay, great. Although I wasn't party to the Community Forest Committee, I did make the selections. I did review the resumes and the applications myself. And I too was amazed at the number of very, very qualified candidates that stepped forward on behalf of our community. And looking at that, I felt very, very grateful that you would take your time to volunteer to do this on behalf of your community, to help move our community forward in this fashion. That being said, I have served on various committees that are advisory style committees, such as the Ad hoc Community Forest Committee on both the county and the municipal level. And I know the depth of work that these committees put in before they make their recommendation to the board above them. And so I thank the Ad hoc Community Forest Committee for their work, directors Orsini and Mayo and the staff involved. And I'm very supportive of the 6 prospective appointees and the 3 alternates. And thank you once again for stepping up. Staff comments?
Just briefly, we've already picked the first date for the first committee meeting. It's going to be Tuesday, July 16th. These are all going to be public meetings. They'll be noticed on our website. The minutes and the agendas will be uploaded to our website as well. So yes, to echo the board's comments, we are looking for not just committee members' input, but the community's input as well. So I encourage you to attend and look for the agendas.
Okay, thank you. Any other staff comments? Comments from the public or from the appointees? Step up to the microphone, state your name.
Yeah, hi, I'm Brian Dorman. So I didn't apply for this, so I'm not part of this at all, although I live in the community. But I do act on a lot of other areas. And so my concern is that you have a group of professionals, which is very well qualified, but you have a very monolithic group. And I would think that you want some diversity. You want some people who aren't biologists and who aren't with forestry. That's just my opinion.
Thank you. Are there any other members of the public who wish to speak to this item? Do we have any of our prospective appointees who would like to address this board? Including those on Zoom, I see 2 hands up. Chair will recognize Michelle Stevens.
Hi there. I'm trying to figure out how to turn my camera on, and I can't. I would love to be there in person. However, I am in Sacramento for work. Otherwise, I'd definitely be there. I just want to thank the committee for this opportunity. I am a McKinleyville resident, obviously, and that's pretty much what qualified me, I guess. I was pretty shocked and humbled to be one of those selected, given the amazing credentials that everybody had that submitted applications. I'm very excited for this opportunity, and I hope that the folks that are in the room there, the community members that are there and others participate in this process. We all have a stake in this. And I'm looking forward to partnering with those that are on the committee as well to hopefully do some good work together. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. The chair recognizes Kevin Creed on Zoom. Okay, you're still muted, Mr. Creed. The chair recognizes Kevin Creed on Zoom.
Here we go. There we go.
There
now
you go.
you can hear me?
We can.
Great.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So that speaks to my breadth of technical abilities. Please do not adjust your sets. I will return control later. That'll age me. Anyway, thank you. This is a privilege and an honor. Likewise, I would be there. A family matter called me out of town. But to echo Director Mayo's comments, this is a unique and amazing opportunity for the district to really develop both the physicality of the community forest and the programmatic elements
Yes.
and the community involvement and usage. So I very much look forward to working with the other committee members, the board, park committee, and all that. So again, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Okay, I guess we do have one more. Okay. And Chair recognizes Chris Collier on Zoom.
Hi there. I'm another community member, selected as an alternate, I believe. I'm in Michigan right now, northern Michigan, for a memorial service, so I appreciate you letting me join just now. I'm excited to be part of this community as I've lived in McKinleyville for a number of years, and I'm a wildlife biologist, but I've also worked on many boards for building trails in the Tahoe area. So I'd like to help with building trails and making maps and advising as far as wildlife and plants go. So yeah, I'm just happy to be part of this community, and I will definitely be in person for the next few meetings if there's an option. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for stepping up, Mr. Collier.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak? Seeing none, I'll call for a motion.
Scott?
Yes.
I had something I wanted to say, if it's all right.
Okay.
So I apologize, sir. I didn't get your name, and I recognize you. I think we know each other. Brian. And I wanted to address your comments. I agree. One of the really tough things that we look at, and having been in this business, if you will, for 20 years, how do you maximize your PowerPoints with powers, with grants, with people who make decisions? And so looking at our applicants, to me, a lot of that came into play in terms of who, and I don't mean to be always looking at the bottom line, but yet I do. Who would give the most power, the most bang for the buck in terms of grant writing and all of that kind of stuff? And that had a lot to do with my decision-making on who what came on the committee. On the other hand, I want to be clear to everybody, this committee is wide open. The whole community is welcome to come to these meetings, and we want you to. And your advice and expertise, we want. So I hope that nobody thinks that this decision is limiting. And I'll give you a prime example of that. This has been a brainchild and a commitment of mine for years. And I have stepped off the committee to let my colleague, Director Beitman, take my position on this committee because he has immensely more expertise than I do. And this is something I love. I mean, this is a, I don't know how to explain it. This means a lot to me. And getting it to this point and getting this committee and having Leslie's tutelage in this, which has been amazing, I'm very happy to let Director Beitman take the reins of this because he'll do a better job than I would. Cut and dried. So thank you for, and please be a part of this, sir.
Yes. 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 I think we all hear you clearly, and we appreciate that, sir. Thank you for your comments.
I'll once again call for a motion.
I'll move per staff recommendation to accept the slate of suggestions, including the 3 alternates from staff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Joey?
President Bender.
Yes.
Director Beitman.
Yes.
Director
Yes.
Mayo.
Yes.
And Director Orsini.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for stepping up. Okay, moving on to item E3. Consider award of construction contract 2024-07 to Frank Loduca Company for the McKinleyville BMX track and park construction project. This will be presented by Pat Kaspari, our general manager.
Thank you, President Bender. In the spring of 2022, MCSD was awarded a $2,331,375 grant by the Prop 68 statewide park development program to design and construct a BMX track and park at the undeveloped 3-acre parcel located at School Road and Washington Avenue. In September of 2022, Melton Design Group was awarded a contract for the design of the park and track. Since then, MDG has been working with Mike McIntyre of Action Sports Design and district staff to develop a master plan design and cost estimates. MDG prepared the design and bid package for the construction of the BMX park and track. The proposed base bid included the BMX track and associated appurtenances, the parking lot and pathways, a playground area, a half-court basketball court, and a pickleball court. There were several bid alternatives included that may not be constructed based on the bids. The project went out to bid on March 22nd, 2024, and the bids were due back on May 23rd, 2024. 4 bids were received, one from GR Sundberg, one from Mercer Fraser Company, one from Hooven Company, and one from Frank Loduca Company. Attachment 1 is a detailed bid tabulation, but the bids were close. At Frank Loduca Company at $1,914,671, GR Sundberg at $2,570,106, Hooven at $2,594,069.50, and Mercer Fraser at $3,267,964. The engineer's estimate for this project was approximately $1.8 million. The complete Frank Loduca bid is included as attachment 2. MDG and the district have reviewed the responsiveness and responsibility of the bid and have recommended the award to Frank Loduca. The total construction base bid of $1,914,671 with a 10% contingency of $191, and that's an error. It's $191,467 for a total project bid of $2,106,138. To the construction costs needs to be added the design and project management contract awarded to MDG in the amount of $375,986. The overall project amount is $2,481,803. The district received a grant from the state in the amount of $2,331,375. This leaves $150,428 plus or minus to either be made up from funds or modifying the project scope to break even. If the entire $150,000 of the grant shortfall is required for the construction contract, these funds will be obtained from the district Quimby funds. So staff recommends that the board review the information provided, discuss, take public comment, and find Frank Loduca the lowest priced, most responsive and responsible bidder, and authorize the general manager to execute a contract and associated documents to complete the BMX track and park construction project in the amount of $1,914,671 with a 10% contingency of, and again, I just noticed that was an error coming into this meeting. It's actually $191,467,000 for a total of $2,106,138.
So that number should be 2.106.
2.106138.
138 million.
Okay, is the correct number on the attachment?
The base bid is correct.
The base bid's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right then. Is there any board discussion? It's on the, we're on item E3. No, I did.
We're on page 207, the staff recommendations on page 207. The correct numbers are,
Most important number is the $1,914,671.
yeah, because the contingency is academic anyway, because we're just allowing staff to spend 10% over on change orders.
Without having to come back to the board.
Without having to come back to the board. The most important thing is to approve the bid for 1.914671 million.
Just a point of clarification. Is that 10%, and we're authorizing that because that is generally a little bit over what we are already authorized to do?
Yeah, it's just so if there's any change orders, I don't have to keep coming back to the
Gotcha.
board every time to get the board approve them.
I would expect that if we get 10% worth of change orders, that we'll probably be hearing from the general manager anyway, because that's usually that's a pretty high amount, but that's standard, the 10% contingency's a
Right.
standard.
Yeah.
And the contract will be written for the 1.9 number.
So, we're still, I've got some comments, I'll make some comments. Is that okay? Yeah, I reviewed this, interesting that, how close, the two middle bids were, to it, and Leduca's was lower than that. Everything looks fine. It was interesting that, Leduca's base bid was lower, but how much higher they're at alternates were. But as far as it goes, I'm comfortable with it. If our staff and engineer reviewed it, the design engineer reviewed it, and they've determined that Frank Leduca Company is the low bid and is responsive and responsible. I'm very supportive of us moving forward with this, but I'll hold off on making a motion until everybody else has a chance to have comment on it.
Okay. Are there any additional comments? No additional comments. Does the staff have any comments? Members of the public? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion.
So moved per staff recommendation with the modified contingency total of $2,106,000 $138.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Joey, would please call the roll?
President Bender?
Yes.
Director Beitman?
Yes.
Director Mayo?
Yes.
Director Orsini?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item E4, consider approval of the fiscal year 2024-25 budget and approve resolution 2024-16 establishing appropriation limits for fiscal year 2024-25. This item is presented by Samantha Howard, our finance director.
Thank you. The proposed fiscal year 2024-25 budget does not differ significantly from the draft budgets that were presented to the board earlier this year. One important difference to note is the estimated actual water grant revenue for 2023-24 is approximately $1.5 million more than was presented in the draft budget due to unreported 23-24 grant revenue for the McCluskey tank and the 4.5 million gallon tank projects. For the Parks and General Fund operating budget, the expected revenue for programs is projected to be more than the projected revenue for 2023-24 based on an increase in part-time staff costs reimbursed to the district from McKinleyville Union School District for the provision of after-school program staff to the schools. Facility rental revenue in the current fiscal year is higher than the budget projections, and staff anticipates similar facility rental revenues in fiscal year 2024-25. There is also $1.3 million budgeted in grant revenue for the construction of the BMX park. For the purposes of this proposal, the salary and benefits costs are based on the methodologies agreed upon during the last employee negotiations. Other operating costs have increased due to higher activity levels and inflation. In 2023, the property owners of McKinleyville voted to increase the Measure B assessment amount. The 2024-25 proposed Measure B budget is based upon the revenues projected in the 2024-25 engineers report for the Measure B assessment district renewal and establishment of increased assessments. Given that the Measure B fund is currently showing a deficit of over $659,000 as reported in the 2022-23 audit, staff did not budget the entirety of the projected Measure B revenues to operations and maintenance in fiscal year 2024-25, as it is intended that some of the projected revenue will go towards paying down the existing deficit. All operating budgets have been adjusted to reflect revised premium projections from the district's health insurance providers. Please see the fixed cost tables below. As a note, the total minimum required employer contributions for CalPERS PEPRA and CalPERS Classic is the sum of the plan's employer normal cost rates expressed as a percentage of payroll and paid as payroll is reported, plus the employer unfunded accrued liability contribution amount billed monthly or paid annually in dollars. The values expressed in this table are fixed UAL costs. The employer normal cost rate for Classic is 11.88%, and for PEPRA is 7.78%. The budgets, graphs, historical trend analysis, capital projects budget, and narratives are included in the final budget document, as is the appropriations limits calculation, which is an annual item required by state law. The appropriations limit calculates the amount of property tax revenue that may be spent by local governments, including special districts. It is calculated based on population growth and other factors. Staff recommends that the board review, take public comment, and approve the fiscal year 2024-25 budget and approve resolution 2024-16, establishing appropriation limits for fiscal year 2024-25.
Thank you. I'll take it back to the board for comments. Any of the board members wish to make a comment on this?
Just once again, thank you for the care and the detail that you've taken to present this for us. Greatly appreciated.
Okay, staff comments.
Just wanted to point out, we handed out an attachment of the capital improvement budget. The one that's in the budget document in your binders is rolled up it doesn't have the detail. Director Beitman asked for the detail, so this is the full detail. Numbers are the same, it's just additional detail.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Any members of the public that wish to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll call.
Can I?
Yes, Greg?
Yeah, I just want to thank staff. Samantha, thank you very much for this, your first budget for the district. I'm sure that it was kind of like a whirlwind coming in the middle of the process and things like that, but I want to thank you very much for the work that you did on this also. I recognize Leslie and James for the amount that you guys do when it comes to the budget for the Parks and Rec Department and the Operations Department, and how much work goes into to getting a budget done for that. So thank you very much. Colleen, thank you very much for riding herd on this process. I know you've got many years of experience doing this, so I just wanted to thank you very much. And Pat for herding all the cats and getting everything done into us on this. I also want to point out that I very much appreciate on page 8 of 49 on the actual budget, and it's 242 in this, and that's the kind of the financial overview of the budget, and what our forecasted position will be, is forecasted to be for this fiscal year coming up. Thank you very much for putting that in the budget. It was a work in progress, and I want to recognize Director John Corbett for his work with Colleen and getting this it's a very useful part of the budget to kind of see on one page what we're forecasting for our position to be at the end of this coming fiscal year. So thank you very much for everybody involved. And barring any other comments or questions, I will motion per staff recommendation to accept the 2024-25 budget for McKinleyville Community Services District.
And I will second that, but I'd like a comment as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't support everything that Director Orsini said, and I want to thank you. You know, we read these things and sometimes we kind of just take it for granted, but it's a big deal. And I know it was a big deal to you, but thank you so much. And thank you for a lot of the financial benefits you've provided us already, and you know what I mean. And it would be remiss for me anytime to not honor Director John Corbett for his years of service to this district and this community, and his hard-nosed, Colleen, you may not agree always with me, but his understanding of economics and governmental structures was amazing to us all, and I want to thank John for that, and Greg, thank you for bringing that up. And again, thank you, Colleen, and thank you. We appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you to all involved. We do have a motion. We have a second. Joey, would you please call the roll?
President Binder?
Yes.
Director Beitman?
Yes.
Director Mayo?
Yes.
And Director Orsini?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And that one is history. Item E5, consider attendance to the California Special Districts Association 2024 Annual Conference scheduled for September 9th through 12th, 2024 in Indian Wells. And this item is presented by Board Secretary Joey Blaine.
Thank you, President Binder. The 2024 CSDA Annual Conference will be held in Indian Wells, California on September 9th through 12th, 2024. The Leadership Conference for Special Districts will cover special district governance, trends, issues, and legislation. The conference is designed for special district leaders from across the state to meet with industry suppliers, hear from the best in special district-specific topics with over 30 breakout session options, and network with peers. CSDA encourages directors and general managers to attend the annual conference. The opportunity to gain knowledge and inspiration is invaluable to the leadership and staff of special districts. Additionally, there is the opportunity to take pre-conference workshops, including Governance Foundations, a requirement for the Special District Leadership Foundation District of Distinction Award. Any board members wishing to take additional pre-conference workshops must notify the board secretary as soon as possible, as the registration for these opportunities must be done during the initial registration process. The cost for early conference registration is $775 on or before August 9, 2024. Additional meal per diem will be $310.50 per person. Hotel room reservations for the conference begin at $214 per night for a total of $856, not including tax, and are based upon availability. United airfare at today's rate is approximately $614 per attendee. Transportation to and from the airport is around $50. In order to book a hotel room, you must first register for the conference in order to obtain a CSDA room reservation code. Room reservation cutoff is August 21st, 2024. However, space is limited and may sell out before this date. The approximate cost for travel and attendance to the conference is approximately $2,555 per attendee. In order to maintain the lowest possible cost for travel, directors are asked to inform the board secretary of their desire to attend by June 28, 2024. Staff recommends that the board review the information provided, take public comment, and consider authorization for interested board members to attend the 2024 California Special Districts Association Annual Conference in Indian Wells, California.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any board comments?
I'd like to move to accept this, and I will not be attending, but this is important for our district, and anyone who can go, I support. So that's my motion.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We do have a motion and a second. Prior to calling this, I would like to see some hands if you do plan on attending this.
I have to attend as a member of the CSDA Board of Directors. My registration for the conference will be covered by CSDA, but my airfare and lodging and things like that will have to be covered by the district. But I will be going, and I would encourage everybody on the board who plans on going to not wait until the last minute to let staff know about this, and I would encourage staff to get us registered in our rooms as soon as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Director Beitman?
At this point, given some uncertainty, I do plan, I would desire to attend.
Okay, thank you. Members of the staff? Okay, thank you. And Director Couch isn't here to do that, so you do have some initial information. Okay, great. We do have a motion and a second. Joey, would you please call the roll?
President Bender?
Yes.
Director Beitman?
Yes.
Director Mayo?
Yes.
Director Orsini?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The motion passes. Okay. F, reports. No specific action is required on these items, but the board may discuss any particular item as required. Active committee reports. Park and Rec Committee, Bender, Beitman. Parks and Rec, I was at the meeting. I don't have anything to add to Director Frisbee's report. McKinleyville Area Fund, that would be me. We did not meet last month. We did meet the month before, distributed funds to the mini grants. C, Redwood Region Economic Development Commission, Director Beitman.
The scheduled meeting was scheduled for Memorial Day, and as a consequence, it was canceled.
Okay, thank you. McKinleyville Senior Center, that would be me. And let's see, we did have a pretty active month at the Senior Center. We did get a new hostess, and she's serving on Wednesday mornings now. Her name is Cheryl K. Levy. She's learning quickly and is very personable, and we're glad to have her on board. We did participate in the annual Pony Express Days Festival here at Pearson Park. We had a rummage sale, we had a bake sale, we had an informational table. We hosted Pat Gerzik with Life Plan Humboldt. She set up a table, and you were able to get information on Life Plan Humboldt right in our own senior center. We had a lot of fun. We handed out a lot of information. We answered a lot of questions, and we're gaining more participants each time. We hold an open house like this and show the people that we are not a glum lot, that we have fun in our center, and we wish to make this available to anyone who wants to, that are 55 years of age or older. Okay, during our Senior Center Board meeting last month, our guest was Julie Andre from Area 1 Agency on Aging, who shared information on her home sharing program, where eligible seniors or others can find an available room in a nearby house for mutual support, both financially, socially, and so forth. And that was very that was a well-presented program, and we're seeing people share their homes in McKinleyville and nearby areas, and sharing expenses and providing support for one another. Okay, that is the Senior Center report, unless I'm missing anything, and I am not. Okay, moving on to the Audit and Finance Committee report. Director Orsini?
We did not meet.
Did not meet. Employee negotiations, Director Couch, Director Mayo. Employee negotiations?
We did not meet.
Did not meet. Okay, the McKinleyville Municipal Advisory Committee, Director Orsini.
Thank you. So we had a fairly robust meeting. We had somebody from, we had a community safety from our Arcata Fire Department, and then we went on to new and continued business. We had the state of county roads, and as you can tell by driving in the county, it's not a very good thing. It was a very, very informative presentation by the County Public Works, and made a very kind of gave us a rationale for how they maintain the roads, and as the roads get worse and worse, it costs more and more to fix them. So they try to keep the roads that are in good repair repaired all the way, and the roads that are in moderate repair, they spend the money on them as they can, and as the roads get more and more broke down, it becomes more and more expensive to fix those roads. So it's sort of a snowballing effect. The financial realities of why the road maintenance has been deferred for many, many years was covered, and we had a slight conversation about maybe something being on the ballot in November for a tax that would divert some money from the sales tax to road maintenance. And let's see, we also had a presentation by the League of Women Voters, which was very good, very interesting. We had another presentation that was called Street Stories, which is a reporting program that's sort of a statistical web-based thing that really is very interesting, but not, I wouldn't say that the criteria for there's no checks or balances for anybody can basically log on to that website and add information. So I would say that the information on that website is probably anecdotal at best, but seems to be an interesting tool that you could use to find out different things about the roads and about traffic and about maybe the safety of areas. But as I said, it's all done by the public, and it's anecdotal at best. I'd like to report that the MCMAC approved a support letter for the community forest, and we approved a budget to go back to the Board of Supervisors for next fiscal year, and the same, basically the same request for McKinleyville Community Services District. And so at this time, I'll ask Pat, was the money that we typically, was that included in our budget for the MCMAC? Okay, so what we approved last year is we had just approved in our budget for this year, so will be our in-kind contribution to the MCMAC will be status quo for the coming year. And we had some no subcommittee reports, and that's basically all I've got.
Okay, thank you. Ad hoc committee for the community forest. Do either of you two have anything to add other than what's already been said? Director Mayo or
I'm good unless you are, yeah.
Yeah, just, we cover, pretty much all we covered during the committee meeting was covered in item, whatever that item that we did when we did the selection.
Right. Okay, and the HBMWD Muni Water Task Force. That'd be Director Couch with an alternate of Director Mayo.
I don't know if Director Couch went or not. I did not.
Okay. Thank you.
Actually, I did talk to the Public Works environmental officer at the Trails Conference, and we had a good talk. And the only thing that I might add on that, and him and I talked about this quite a bit, is our GSA is an approved GSA, and it's a really good plan, and yet the environmental community has sued us. And so I've been pressing our legislators to sign on as I don't know what the right way, amicus brief to help us with offset the financials of that. So other than that, that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Was that part of the legislative and regulatory reports?
No.
No, but we're moving right into legislative and regulatory reports, so we're in that item now, so carry on.
Okay. A couple, Greg, if you want to go first, there's a couple things here.
Yeah, I'll report that 4 of the board members went to Sacramento and participated in CSDA legislative days in May 21st and 22nd and 23rd, 21st and 22nd, something like that. Tuesday and Wednesday, we were able to have meetings with Senator McGuire's staff, and then also Assembly Member Wood's staff. And not only did we cover requests for CSDA and legislation that they're in the process of either opposing or supporting, but then we also had discussions about stuff that we got going on at MCSD. So anyway, I think it was fruitful and worked out very good.
Right. So I would just concur with that. We had lots of very good work on issues that are very important to this district. On a personal level, I'd really like to thank Director Orsini, Director Bender,
and Director Couch for their kindness to me on the trip. I am still not in very good shape, but I cracked a vertebrae and broke a rib in front and back, and I was in horrible physical, and these guys took great care of me, and I really want to thank them all for that. They were above and beyond the call of duty, so thank you guys. As far as the legislative aspects, we really did a yeoman's job down there and working on the issues for this district. I want to thank you all for that as well. Other things?
Are there any other
Yes.
things?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So a few things here. There's a live webinar, and I send this usually to Pat, and he forwards it on to you. I don't know whether I sent this one or not, but on Monday, June 17th, there's a live webinar on turning electricity reliability challenges into opportunities to save on energy costs. You never know where these things go, but it could be of service to us. Let's see. That's the live webinar for that. We will be having a Region 2 event soon to go over what's happened with the Paradise Fire and what has happened there and the positive stuff they're doing. I'm going to be going to that as a representative from Region 1. And let's see. Pat is probably totally aware of this, the North Coast Resource Partners resilience, fire resilience, what's the date on that, Pat? June 13th. Let's see, there's one more, bear with me all, I apologize. The Region 2 program is Thursday, June 27th in Paradise. And it's going to be pretty involved. They've done a lot of work up there. And so, all right, I guess that's about it. So thank you.
Okay, that's it for legislative and regulatory reports. We'll move on to staff reports. Finance and Administration Department, Samantha Howard.
Yeah, my report pretty much covers it. I just wanted to add a few things. So we have received the preliminary request for the interim field work for the annual audit. So we're already getting started on that. We have our first staff meeting for that tomorrow afternoon. And then to discuss the single audit, which in my note I said that the deadline for that is June 15th. But after meeting with the auditor, I learned there actually is not going to be a deadline because we're not filing a single audit for 2023 as we don't hit that $750,000 threshold of needing to file for 22-23. What we're doing is just filing a 2022 revision, and there is no deadline that we're working for on that. I am still working towards it very actively, so I hope to have it completed within the next couple of weeks, and then afterwards we'll meet with the Finance and Audit Committee. So other than that, nothing to add.
Okay, thank you. Operations Department, Mr. Henry. Nothing further to add. Parks and Rec Department, Director Frisbee.
I just want to add that the application period for the Parks and Recreation Director search closed on the 31st. We received 6 viable applications, and interviews will be happening over the next couple weeks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, General Manager Kaspari.
A few things to add. So the 4.5 million gallon tank, tomorrow they are pouring wall 9 out of 12. So that's moving along. They've started pouring a bunch of the columns as well. They're just going to pour up to wall 10. They're going to leave 11 and 12. and then put in the scaffolding and do the roof, which will start the end of June into July.
So they'll do the false work where get it all in and out of there through, and then finish, pour the last 2 sections of wall afterwards?
Exactly. Yep. But that's moving forward. Microgrid, we are, like I reported last time, we did get the permit to operate from PG&E. The Amoresco gentleman is out this week doing the final programming on it. We have an appointment with him at 2 o'clock tomorrow to have him run through the final programming. So assuming everything works well, we'll issue the notice of completion for that contract, and it'll be up online running by the end of this week completely. We also had a meeting today with Shane Trimmer and John Driscoll from Congressman Huffman's office. We had submitted an appropriation request to Congressman Huffman this year, and we asked for just a debrief on it. We did not get forwarded on. Shane said that he was hoping they would get it really streamlined since he had a week for people to turn things around. He still got 60 applications and he could only forward 15 on. So he didn't really have any recommendations for us. He said ours made it to tier 1. It was absolutely one of the ones he wanted to push forward, but just had to narrow it down. Do you want to jump in here, Director
No,
Mayo?
I, as you explain this, Tier 1, and I know our application was excellent, could you give us kind of a overview of not who got it, but how many got them, where we might be on the next round?
So we did, he explained that, the ones that just really didn't qualify were thrown out immediately. We made it to the last round. There were 15 that moved forward, and unfortunately, we weren't. I don't know how far down from number 15 we were. He didn't say, but.
Yeah, when we were in Sacramento, we got that.
Notification.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And all the ones who were awarded were excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. And we had absolutely nothing but that good for that. So for us to be up in that tier is good. And I'm not upset that of course, we'd like to get it. I'm not upset that we didn't, but I think.
That's not what you said when you found out.
Yeah, well, sometimes I say things that get me in trouble. But I think we're in great stead for the next round. Is there anything that John might have said, and I'll speak to him myself in the next few weeks, that we could add to enhance our application?
No, and that I wanted to add on to, John had said that Congressman Huffman is going to be up, and we had invited him, of course, for the ribbon cutting on the community forest. He was wondering if that had happened. We said, well, yeah, it had, but we'd love to show the congressman the community forest. So he is going to be around on the 21st of June, which is a Friday, I believe. And we've asked him if we could meet with him in that morning up there. He said he's trying to nail down the schedule right now, but if there is room, he is going to have us meet with him. And so it might be an email on the night before, too, to everybody saying, hey, Congressman Huffman is going to be up there. Can you make it?
Do we have access to a nice quad? It would be nice if we had access to a very nice quad that we could take him around on.
You mean a 4x4?
Yeah.
Unless you're going to let him ride on the back with you on a quad.
Yeah, bring his hiking shoes. I've got a great trail.
Yeah, I've got a nice colt that started well.
His wife does that.
I
No,
think if
no,
you-
I think it would be really nice if we could vet that out a little bit to where we could actually do more than just walk out there, maybe, sport him around and show him the.
John made a point that it was going to be a really brief visit if he's able to do it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah, no, I understand, I understand.
And I think that's it for me.
Brevity's not my long suit, Pat.
Yeah, I just love docenting people out there. It's
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
I have something to add. Having kind of to go in the spirit with what Director Mayo said, we looked at the projects that were awarded, and they were all. I couldn't, I was bummed out that we weren't included in that, but the ones that did make the cut, they were all great projects, and a lot of them were from this area. So there is a good chunk of money that's going to get dragged down from the federal government. Yeah, and I absolutely could not fault on the ones that were selected.
I think that's important for us to transmit to the public. I really think that's, they need to hear that. We also support your decision.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't ours. I think that's important. My 2 cents, or my 20%.
Okay, are we ready to move along, gentlemen? Okay, President's report. Between the last time we met and now, what happened? Well, Director Mayo and I went down to Sacramento for the Aqua Spring Conference, and went down and we attended several meetings. I attended the Region 1 Communication Committee's quarterly meeting as usual. And the main speaker was on Wednesday, and it was National Resource Secretary Wade Crowfoot. And he was very entertaining and educational, talked a lot about the importance of the Delta Project, their work. When Governor Newsom did show up briefly, made a few comments, and it was not very fruitful. And of course, I did attend the monthly meeting of the Park and Recreation Committee. Went down to legislative days, as was stated by my 2 colleagues sitting on either side of me. We did attend staff meetings with both Assemblymember Wood and Senator McGuire's office. We made our case strongly, and we felt that we were heard. And I left both of those meetings with very, very positive thoughts for the future, and knowing that we did present our case well. Okay, moving forward, and the MCSD projects, aside from the CSDA talking points, were of course finding funding for the forestry management plan. We were asking for $1 million for that. And we were looking for gap funding for the 4.5 million gallon tank project, and the sewer undercrossing project, gap funding for that as well. And we presented strongly. Okay, as you guys may have heard, my wife and I were selected as the ground marshals for the Pony Express Days Parade, and that was fun. We got to judge the chili cook-off and got to ride in Wes Green's Model T. We were chauffeured for the parade, and that was unique. And after that, Central Avenue was looking pretty shabby, so I got a trash bag and went and picked up trash today. And so that's what I've been doing. Okay, F5, board member comments, announcements, reports, and agenda item requests.
Supervisor Madrone also has his hand raised.
Oh, there's Supervisor Madrone.
Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead. You
let's
want to
bring-
take Supervisor Madrone and then come back to the board for comments or reports, questions?
But of course, Supervisor Madrone, the floor is yours.
Thank you, President Bender. Just congratulations to Diane on her retirement, and congratulations to your board on the formation of your Community Forest Committee. That is such an impressive project, decades of work by many people. That's really all I have tonight. Thank you for including me.
I want to add something.
Okay, thank you, sir. Of course, Director Mayo has something to add.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment, since Supervisor Madrone is here, that I know we're looking at everything, the money, all the money, reevaluating county properties, et cetera. But I just wanted to mention, and I know you know this, but I just want to make it public. I've spent every day this week, and many days that I do, hour by hour, rebuilding the fencing at the McKinleyville Rodeo Association Arena, redoing the grounds, quite a few anyway, community members have come and spent many hours with me. When I get done from this meeting tonight, I'll be up there probably until about 2 this morning plowing the arena, because we're having a gymkhana this weekend. And I just wanted to reiterate, and Supervisor, I know you know this, that is a subset of Clam Beach Park. It's been a private-public partnership for 60 years, and we work incredibly hard to keep that open for the public. We've got somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 private organizations that come up and use it through the work that we do. We have probably, the last estimate that we had, we have trained 6,000 youth in horsemanship, animal husbandry over the 60 years, and we're going to do more. So I just wanted to point out to you that as all of these things come up to look at, I don't think the arena is on anybody's chopping block at all, and I don't mean to allude to that, but it's important for me and my community and the many people that use it, from Garberville to Crescent City on the weekends that come down and do this. What a valuable asset that is to this community. I want to tell you, when I was 18 years old, was the first time I went up there and roped in that arena. And I'm an old bastard. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out, and anything you can do in the process to support that, I would appreciate. Thank you.
My turn?
Yeah, you always have something to say.
So I just, a couple of things. I'll start out by something that I could have probably covered during the legislative part of this, but while we were down in Ledge Days, they had speakers come and talk to us when we were in between our visits, and I happened to be in there when somebody from the legislative analyst's office came in and gave a speech, and her numbers were a little bit different than Governor Newsom's when they started talking about the deficit, and when asked who usually was closer to being correct on their numbers, she said, "Well, the legislative analyst's office is always closer than what the governor or what the legislature's numbers are." And so just so that we understand that, there's going to be a $68 billion deficit this year, and 27 to 28 billion of that will have to come with actual in the red spending. So just something to keep in mind with what we're doing. So our how we're approaching our legislators now for these earmarks and things like that. We have to keep that in context, that the environment is not conducive to us getting money. So if we do get money, it'll be a pretty special thing, and we'll have to just be very, very grateful for that, and also give ourselves a good pat on the back that we did the work necessary to encourage them to look to McKinleyville for that. And also, so now that the microgrid project is done, hopefully we can get a report on the microgrid project, on how we're doing related to the amount of energy we're generating and how much of it we're using, in that at some point. Preferably not when I'm going to be gone in August. Thank you.
I want to make one brief comment. This is REDIC business, and I don't think I'm at liberty to discuss any details, but I sit on the loan committee, and the loan committee today reviewed the application for the senior center, or whatever.
Life Plan Humboldt.
Lifeline Humboldt, and acted on it. So I would expect that we would hear publicly the results of that sometime very soon.
Were you positive on that?
I have been cautioned that the work of that committee is confidential. I don't quite understand that, so I'm going to respect that.
Okay. I was on the committee before, so I understand what you're saying.
I don't think I'm out of place in saying that the item was considered. The outcome of that, I think I'm not at liberty to.
It's proprietary.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else?
Not for me.
Okay.
Now that you insulted me by telling me I talked too much.
Okay. All right. Item G, adjournment.